Charles III was born on the 14th of November 1948 during the reign of his grandfather George VI. He was the first child of Philip Mountbatten and Princess Elizabeth, the then Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. He grew up with 3 siblings, Anne, Andrew and Edward. In 1952, his grandfather died and his mother became Queen Elizabeth II. Charles became heir apparent. Charles attended his mother's coronation in 1953. When he turned 5 years old, Charles's formal education began, and a governess was appointed to oversee his education. In 1956, Charles started classes at Hill House School in London. Following on from this, Charles attended Cheam Preparatory School and Gordonston. Charles was the first heir to the British throne to be educated in a school rather than private tutors. Charles found Gordonston to be difficult and abusive due to the bullying he received from students while there. However, he did praise the school for helping him to come out of his shell. Charles spent 2 terms in 1966 in Geelong Grammar School in Australia, and he really enjoyed his time there. While at Gordonston, Charles became head boy and left school in 1967. Charles attended Trinity College, Cambridge, where he studied archaeology and anthropology, before transferring to a history course. He also attended University College of Wales to study Welsh history and language for a term. He graduated with a 2:2 BA and he was awarded a Master of Arts from Cambridge in 1975. In 1958, Charles was created Prince of Wales, but his investiture was not held until the 1st of July 1969. During the 1970s, he served in the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy. Throughout his youth, Charles was linked with several women, but none were serious aside from Camilla Shand. She was not considered to be an appropriate bride for a future king, due to her having had previous relationships, but Charles was infatuated with her. The relationship ended in the early 1970s but began again in earnest in the 1980s when Charles's first marriage had failed. In 1979, Charles's great-uncle, Lord Mountbatten, was assassinated by the IRA. During this mourning, he became close to Lady Diana Spencer. He met her in 1977 when he was dating her older sister Sarah. The press and paparazzi caught wind of the courtship, and the intense media speculation prompted Charles to marry her. His father had strongly encouraged him to do so, so as not to damage Diana's reputation. They got engaged in February 1981 and were wed on the 29th of July 1981. They had 2 children together, William and Harry. Though they tried to make their marriage work, the marriage was doomed to fail. Their 13-year age gap, coupled with their incompatibility, led to the marriage breaking down and Charles resuming his relationship with Camilla Shand, who had since married and taken her husband's surname, Parker Bowles. Diana also began to have affairs with numerous men around the same time. In December 1992, the couple separated, and in 1996, they divorced. A year later, Diana was killed in a car crash. Following this, Charles made his relationship with Camilla public in 1999, and they became engaged in February 2005. They got married on the 9th of April 2005 in a civil ceremony, followed with a religious blessing. Charles's parents only attended the religious blessing, as the Queen was the supreme governor of the Church of England, and this would have put her in a difficult position if she had attended the civil ceremony. As Prince of Wales, Charles undertook official duties on behalf of the Queen. He performed investitures, and attended funerals of foreign dignitaries and independence celebrations. He also met with and supported various charities. He also opened Parliament for the Queen when she was ill. On the 8th of September 2022, Queen Elizabeth II passed away. As the longest-serving British heir apparent at over 70 years, Charles is also the oldest person to assume the British throne at the age of 73. He took the regnal name of Charles III, although there was speculation that he would assume a different name like George to avoid the negative connotations with the regnal name of Charles. On the 10th of September 2022, Charles was publicly proclaimed king by the Ascension Council, which was televised for the first time. How good of a king will Charles III be? Only time will tell.